Hi, Mighty Mommy here, and I'm ready to share some quick and dirty parenting tips with you that will help make your life as a parent a little bit easier and a lot more fun. I'm your host, Cheryl Butler. One of the most common themes that many of us can relate to is that we live in a world of instant gratification. And if you've got kids in your life, you know that they not only want things granted instantly, they feel entitled to have it that way. Oh, my goodness. If our pilgrim ancestors could see the hissy fits many kids pull at the checkout counter when they're denied access to a king-size candy bar, or worse, if they witnessed how many parents actually give in to keep the peace and prevent an embarrassing meltdown, I think they'd go cry in a corn maze. How could we have gotten so spoiled and ungrateful in just a few generations? If you're struggling with this in your own family, or would love to see a lot more gratitude instilled in today's youth, rest assured, it definitely is possible. You just need to set a simple set of standards of appreciation in your daily lives. Today, Mighty Mommy shares 11 ways to instill a mindset of gratitude in your children and make it your family's way of life. So here are my 11 tips. Tip number 1. Give thanks, always. Regardless of your financial status, the size home you live in, the kind of car you drive, or the labels on your clothing, an attitude of gratitude helps us thrive. Make saying thank you a part of your everyday lives, no matter what. And you have to model this for your family. Something like, wow, I am so thankful we get to eat this hot meal of pasta and meatballs together on this cold night. We're so lucky. Many other families never have this privilege. Kids need to hear what adults are thankful for on a regular basis. Tip number 2, show your kids appreciation. Kids learn to appreciate when they live it themselves. Set an example and show appreciation by making it clear that you paid attention to their real efforts. Your room looks so nice with the toys in their bins. I am so happy that you remembered to put them away. Dad and I really appreciate that. Tip number 3, teach gratitude through role-playing. Teach through role-play. If your little one is too shy to say thank you in a social setting, they can pretend to teach their stuffed animals or dolls to do so in the comfort of their own room while you play along. And tip number 4, set a thankful routine. Create daily or weekly routines. A regular question like, what are you most thankful for today? Can serve as a comforting routine at bedtime or a highlight of a weekly dinner ritual. In our family, we do this several times during the week at dinner or while driving to sports practices and events. Years later, my older kids even now ask me what I'm thankful for. Tip number 5, have you filled a bucket today? A few years ago, one of my kids' teachers introduced us to a wonderful book called How Full Is Your Bucket for Kids, written by Tom Rath. This beautifully illustrated book is something my daughter is still talking about. In fact, I bought a copy for all 8 of my kids at Thanksgiving last year so they'd pass it along to their own families someday. Through the story of a little boy named Felix, this charming book explains to children how being kind not only helps others, it helps them too. Some people are happy, but others are grumpy or sad. Using the metaphor of a bucket and a dipper, Felix's grandfather explains why the happy people make Felix feel good, while the others leave him feeling bad and sad, and how Felix himself is affecting others, whether he means to or not. Now, in our own house, we commonly ask one another, have you filled a bucket today? Tip number 6, make giving and volunteering a habit. Set aside toys and clothing that are in good condition. Deliver the items to a deserving cause all together as a family. Talk about the process and why you think it's important to do this. Tap into organizations like Global Giving that offer a virtual marketplace for making a difference. Check out my episode on 5 fun ways to encourage kids to volunteer for more ideas on encouraging giving. Tip number 7, introduce your kids to window shopping. In our family of 8 kids, being considerate and careful in our buying habits is essential to maintain our comfortable lifestyle. That's why we taught our large brood early on that just because we go shopping, it doesn't necessarily mean we always leave with the store with purchases in hand. Ever since my kids were toddlers, we took them on window shopping excursions where we went to local malls, department stores, or even flea markets and fairs and just walked around and looked. We explained that even Mom and Dad love to look at the latest home tech gadgets and items for the house, as well as designer clothing and sports gear, but it's not necessary or always possible to purchase them. Of course, this doesn't stop kids from yearning for material possessions, but they've learned that we have to budget and plan on bigger purchases, regardless of whether or not our neighbor already has these things. And tip number 8, create a gratitude gift list. Holiday and birthday wish lists are always fun and they're necessary, but it's also a good idea to create a gratitude gift list. This list contains items that can't be purchased, no matter how rich you are. Things like good health, a loving family, a cuddly puppy who licks your face every day after school, home-baked cookies from Grandma, the gift of being a fast soccer player, or the ability to sing or play an instrument. By generating the list in a positive way, you demonstrate how valuable these non-material things really are. It can really be a keepsake for years to come. Tip number 9, encourage good manners. Oh, I love this one. Please and thank you are and always will be the magic words. Get in the habit of teaching these to your kids at an early age. While they're young and learning how to use them, be patient and role model for them. If your son says something like, "Give me a glass of milk," gently rephrase it for him by modeling, "Hey, Mom, can I please have a glass of milk? I'm so thirsty." It may not seem like a big deal now, but through repetition and modeling, your kids will soon have this polite and thoughtful way of speaking ingrained in them for life. And family mealtime really is the perfect place to practice these words. And tip number 10, count your blessings. There's nothing wrong with kids being grateful for material objects, as long as that doesn't supersede gratitude for the love and support of the people in their lives. My kids will be the first to tell you that I'll comment out of the blue about the blessings we all have. When I'm up to my eyebrows in laundry, I'll say something like, "Thank goodness for my washer and dryer. I don't know how my ancestors washed little boys' pants over a rock and a stream." It's like when we lose power due to a storm. That's when we start to realize how blessed we are to have electricity every day. But why wait for the storm? Get into the habit of appreciating and sharing with your kids the things that make our lives so much easier on a daily basis, especially the gift of good health and a loving family. And tip number 11, expose kids to the less fortunate. Even if a child is too young to feel the pain of those who have less than she does, she can still learn at a young age to appreciate what she has by being exposed to those who are less fortunate. This isn't to say you should all pile in the car and take a driving tour of the nearest slum. There are other options. Soup kitchens, literacy programs, food drives, volunteering in an animal shelter. My kids and I go to an annual holiday dinner for the homeless in our town, and they see firsthand how excited these kids are to receive one gift from the Santa figure that comes. Usually something like a board game, a doll, a skateboard, maybe a bike. Not the plethora of electronic gifts that they ask for and receive every year. I don't use this as a way to make them feel guilty, but I do believe that our fortunate kids need to realize that it's not an easy world we live in, and it's important for them to witness real families who have hit hard times. It puts things into perspective, which is another one of those priceless things you could put on your gratitude wish list. How do you make gratitude a part of your family's life? Share your thoughts in the comments section at quickanddirtytips.com/mighty-mommy or post your ideas on the Mighty Mommy Facebook page. You can also connect with me on Twitter at Mighty Mommy or email me at mommy@quickanddirtytips.com. And don't forget to visit my family-friendly boards at pinterest.com/mightymommyqdt. As we approach Thanksgiving Day, Mighty Mommy wishes you all a day of joyful togetherness with your grateful families. And until next time, everyone, happy parenting.